France's far right is at war with itself. The veteran, Marine Le Pen, barred from running by scandal. The protégé, Jordan Bardella, young, ambitious and courting a new France. One built her empire on working-class anger. The other is wooing the wealthy and the right-wing elite. Teacher versus student, legacy versus future. The struggle for power is already reshaping French politics, years before the vote. France's far right finds itself at a crossroads. Marine Le Pen, the longtime face of the National Rally, may not be able to run for president in 2027 due to a fraud conviction that bars her from seeking office. Meanwhile, her protégé Jordan Bardella is quietly positioning himself as the party's future. According to Politico, tension is brewing at the top of France's most popular party over whether it will be Bardella or Le Pen, who leads the National Rally into the all-important 2027 presidential election. The 29-year-old Bardella has generally been viewed as a loyal protégé to Le Pen, but something is shifting in their relationship. The court decision in March that barred Le Pen from running over embezzlement charges has created an opening for Bardella. He faces no legal obstacles and appeals to a different kind of voter than his mentor. While Le Pen courts the working class in former industrial towns of the northeast, Bardella targets wealthier conservatives in the south. Le Pen herself acknowledges the uncertainty surrounding her political future.
When you're in politics, you have to accept that you can't always control events. I've accepted the possibility that I won't be able to run. Of course, the situation isn't ideal, but what else do you suggest? That I commit suicide before being murdered?
The party's strategy has evolved rapidly. Initially, National Rally officials said there was no need for a plan B. Now, they openly describe Bardella as the official backup candidate. This has created what one member of Le Pen's inner circle described as a complicated situation from a human point of view. Bardella's appeal to new voters was evident at the Freedom Summit in late June, where he addressed anti-tax groups and business leaders. Despite the heat in the Casino de Paris theatre, the crowd erupted when Bardella stepped up to speak. They cheered as he criticised European Union regulations and nodded when he suggested cuts to social spending might be necessary to fix France's finances. Speaking to Politico outside the venue, Bardella praised Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni's economic record.
I'm looking at numbers, and I'm looking at Mrs. Meloni's actions. Italy is the only G7 country with a primary budget surplus in 2024. Giorgia Meloni is the living proof that popular will can prevail at the ballot.
The differences between Le Pen and Bardella reflect competing visions for the National Rally's path to power. Le Pen built her support by focusing on working-class concerns and protectionist policies. Her approach helped the party make significant gains in industrial heartlands where plant closures and economic decline fueled voter anger. Bardella represents a more business-friendly approach. He has toured corporate associations to defend the party's economic platform and push back against the idea that the National Rally would harm French business. Last year, he opposed raising taxes on capital gains, going against his own party's official position and most of its members of parliament. This shift toward the centre-right worries some longtime party members. As one prominent centrist politician whose constituency is in the northeast told Politico,
The ones close to Le Pen are freaking out. They think they have invested all this time and effort only to have it snatched away from them. They're the ones who went out and got the left-wing vote. Voters who expect protection against job cuts, an increase in the minimum wage, and so on.
Bardella recently scored a significant meeting with former centre-right President Nicolas Sarkozy, whom he sent a signed copy of his book. The meeting was publicised by both politicians' staff as a clear signal to undecided right-of-centre voters. It was a meeting that Sarkozy would never have granted to Le Pen. One National Rally parliamentarian who leans toward Le Pen admitted that
Courting Sarkozy's circles is personally not my cup of tea. When one wants to go from 35 to 51%, one has to speak to multiple electorates, including former Sarkozy fans.
the tension between the two approaches came to a head in mid-June when Bardella openly called for President Emmanuel Macron to step down. An early presidential election could come before Le Pen's appeal, potentially eliminating her from the race. One Le Pen loyalist and National Rally heavyweight said,
I discussed it with Marine, who didn't get it. I think he went a bit fast.
polling shows Bardella performing just as well as Le Pen in hypothetical presidential matchups. Frederick Darby, Director General at polling firm EFOP, notes that
There are clearly some doubts among her current and potential voters about her being on the starting line in 2027.
at the party's base level, supporters seem comfortable with either candidate. Nicolas Sarkozy, 36, who wants to run for the party in local elections, said,
I like them both, Marine Le Pen for her experience, Jordan Bardella for his charisma. Who is the presidential candidate? I don't really mind.
Restaurant owner Regine Jesnoine, 62, who drove 7 hours to attend a National rally, represents the kind of voter Bardella is trying to attract. She used to vote centre-right under Sarkozy, but switched to the National Rally.
I don't want my country to be invaded by people who have nothing to do here. We are working 70, 80 hours a week. They are not working, only having kids.
The National Rally now faces a delicate balancing act as it prepares for 2027. The party must maintain unity while preparing for the possibility that its longtime leader may not be able to run. As one far-right lawmaker close to Bardella explained,
It is not a comfortable situation for either of them. There is a balance to be found.
whether France's far-right will be led by the seasoned Le Pen or the ascending Bardella could determine not just the party's future, but the direction of French politics and its impact across Europe.